Let's keep it a buck. My grandma could be the starting quarterback for the Clemson Tigers. That performance was abysmal. It was disgusting. I mean, what in the world was that? I can't believe I actually thought Clemson was going to keep it close. What an embarrassment. I mean, straight up fucking embarrassment. When it was 6-0 at halftime, I'm sitting there thinking, damn, this Clemson defense is decent. Georgia can't do nothing, but neither could Clemson. So I'm like, this is the type of game where Clemson's going to pull it out of their ass somehow, some way. The second half starts, and Georgia just steamrolls these motherfuckers. I mean, it was insane. How in the world could that defense be so bad? And the worst part is, their offense is even worse. It's even worse. I mean, Cade Clubberlang is a bum. Get this guy out of here. Get him out. Dabo Sweeney may be washed. Yep, I said it. Dabo might be washed, and it might be time to go because this Clemson team is a shell of its former self. The fact that they used to win national fucking championships and they're getting embarrassed 34-3 in week 1 by Georgia? Oh my God. What an embarrassment. The entire state of South Carolina should be ashamed of themselves for that performance. I mean, Georgia looked great. That offense, and again, the issue is was that offense that good, or is Clemson just that bad? You know what I mean? Clemson couldn't even challenge them on the defensive side of the ball. It was a great win by Georgia. I got to give them a lot of credit, but we're going to see how this win ages, since this win might not age as well as we think if Clemson's going to be a fucking shitbag the whole year, which it looks like they will be because no transfers, no nothing. They look absolutely abysmal, and I don't even see how they improve. What do you do from here? Fucking bench the quarterback? I would. But yeah, that was the embarrassment that was Clemson against Georgia. Good shit, Georgia. But you're still going to get fraud checked this year. I guarantee it. Okay. Now let's move on to the West Virginia versus Penn State game. Just like I said, Penn State rolled them over. They looked amazing out there. And the offense, surprisingly enough, usually Penn State is known for its defense, but the offense looked really fucking good. I got to give them a lot of credit. I mean, West Virginia is garbage, let's be honest here. No offense to my West Virginia fans. But Penn State started off hot like I wanted them to, and I think they're going to have a really, really good season this year. I really do. This Alar kid slinging the rock for Penn State, I mean, he has a lot of potential. I really liked what he showed me there. What was his stat line? Let's take a look. 11 of 17, 216 yards, and 3 touchdowns? That's pretty fucking good if I do say so myself. I mean, I could obviously do better. They should put me out there, but that's besides the point. The running back, Singleton, 13 attempts, 114 yards, and a touchdown with a 40-yard long run? Come on. He was looking like a beast out there. Great performance from the Penn State team. West Virginia, it's West Virginia. They'll hang around, but they'll never beat a team like Penn State, especially with the way they looked last game. So, I mean, the one fucking game that I got right, thank God, Penn State, hallelujah. Shout out to Joe Paterno. Oh, and also, this Penn State dumbass delay. I didn't realize football is now tennis with the weather delays. You're telling me there's a little bit of lightning and everybody loses their fucking minds? Come on, grow the fuck up. People need to stop being little girls and shit and play some fucking football. Fuck out of here with that 2-hour delay. I mean, it did help Penn State, but come on. Pussy ass shit. I hate seeing this. I don't give a fuck if it's lightning. I don't give a fuck if it's a hurricane outside. Y'all better be playing fucking football. Stop, grow up. The Florida Gators are absolute poverty. I mean, absolute poverty. That quarterback, Matza, is garbage. I mean, oh my God. Considering how Ward looked for the U, I mean, it was night and day. This game was over before it even started. That's the sad reality. The one glimmer of hope that Gators had this entire game was when they cut the lead down to 7 with that big-ass run right before halftime. And then what happens? Ward leads the U right down the field, and they score an easy touchdown. Easy touchdown. The game was over right then and there. I'm ashamed of myself for picking the Gators, but in reality, we all know this game was rigged for the U. They need at least one good ACC team this year. Clemson sucks balls. Florida State sucks balls. Looks like the U's going to be that team. Otherwise, Gators would have won. It was all bullshit. I mean, this Ward kid for the U is going to be a good quarterback, but we're going to have to see how he'll stand against the bigger teams because Gators are shit. I mean, what happened to this Florida program? Remember when Urban Meyer was their coach? I mean, Aaron Hernandez was on this team. Tebow was slinging the rock. Come on, man. They need to bring Jesus Christ back into that locker room, and then they'll start winning fucking games again. God damn. But good win for the U. We'll see how they do against a better opponent. I mean, Gators, the season's over. Bench Matza, he's done. I don't even know what this team has to look forward to this year. Their schedule is ridiculously hard. If they win 5 games this year, it will be a miracle. Fuck the Gators. They're done. Shout out to the U. All right, now we move on. Okay, Texas A&M and Notre Dame. This was a very interesting game. Very slow game as well. It felt like they were just going back and forth until Notre Dame just pulled out at the end. I mean, I feel like both teams didn't look that good. And this was kind of like the battle of the mid. What's interesting with this Notre Dame team, I mean, Riley Leonard's okay. Like I said, he's going to scramble here and there. But I don't know about his ability to throw the ball down the field. That's the only issue. Notre Dame has a cupcake-ass schedule. I mean, cupcake-ass schedule. But what's going to end up happening with this cupcake schedule is that they're going to play the good teams much later in the year, and they're going to get absolutely exposed. When I say later in the year, I mean the college football playoff. Their easy-ass independent schedule is bullshit. Just wait till they play a real SEC team. I'm not talking about Texas A&M. I'm talking about Georgia or fucking, Texas or Bama. I want to see how Notre Dame does against those teams. It was a good game, but I expected more out of both teams. Yeah, again, like just looking at their stat line, Riley Leonard, 18 completions on 30 attempts, 158 yards, no touchdowns. That's shit. The running back, the Jay Love kid, 14 attempts, 91 yards, and a tutty. That's a stat line right there. They got a good run game. That's the one thing Notre Dame really does have. They got a good fucking run game. And that will be the only key to their success. Otherwise, Riley got to step up and he got to sling that rock. Otherwise, he's just a bum in a Notre Dame uniform. Aggies, on the other hand, very interesting. This wingman kid, the quarterback, he is dog shit. 12 of 30, 100 yards. You had 30 attempts and you completed 12 of them? And you only have 100 yards? That's 8.3 yards an average. That's horrible. Horrible. My left nutsack can go out there and play better than this bum. El Moss kid, whatever, I don't even know his first name. 20 attempts on 70 yards. That's not that good. 70 yards is okay, but on 20 attempts, you should be getting at least 100 yards. Yeah, Texas A&M has a lot of work to do. I don't think this win was as impressive for Notre Dame, more so that Texas A&M, they're just not that good. And Notre Dame are going to get exposed later in the year. I'm not worried about them. Texas A&M, maybe they'll get better as the season progresses, but not with this quarterback playing. No way. Say good night to the season if this kid's fucking playing quarterback. Hell no. Defense-wise, I think both teams defensively were very good. I don't see why they can't compete against the bigger teams with a defense like this. Just, the offense needs to level up for both of them ASAP. But we'll see what happens. It's only week 1, right? Okay. Now we move on to this bullshit-ass game. USC versus LSU. I knew that spread was a fucking trap. It was so obvious. I mean, are you kidding me? Everybody and their mother was on LSU, and I still fell in the trap. It's like Vegas set the little cheese, and I'm like a rat who ate the cheese. I mean, it was very interesting to see how this LSU team would match up against the USC team. And the one thing that absolutely shocked me was this USC defense. They looked so good out there. And considering these last 2 years where the quality of USC's play was dragged down by their defense, for them to go out there and limit a potent LSU offense to only 20 points, that is impressive as hell. It really, really is. Good shit, USC. Good fucking shit. You guys played your fucking asses off. You locked down when you needed to lock down. clutch interceptions, clutch defensive stops. That's how you win fucking football games. And it's not like the LSU offense played bad. This quarterback of theirs, 29 attempts, 29 completions, 38 attempts, 304 yards, 2 touchdowns. He did throw a pick, but that was late in the game. The run game needs to get going a little bit more. They don't have like a true running back RB1. They need that true RB1, or at least Emery or Williams or even Jackson to set themselves up to be that running back one. Because without that true bell cow, I don't think LSU is going to do anything this year. That's the issue. Trojans, the quarterback Moss looked great. I mean, 27 completions on 36 attempts, 378 yards and a tutty. Could have been better on the touchdown ends. But again, if you're winning the game, it doesn't matter if you're winning by 40 or you're winning by 1, as long as you win. Good shit, USC. I'm excited for this team. Somehow, after shitting on them, I'm actually kind of excited for them. If this defense plays the way it played yesterday, then god damn, I'm expecting USC to make the playoffs. I really think they'll beat some of the bigger teams in the Big Ten if they keep playing like this. Again, it's week 1. We don't know anything about what's going to happen, and it's college. That's even harder to tell than the NFL, but we'll see. Now we have to talk about this Florida State game. I know I didn't predict this one, but holy shit, I was not expecting this. Florida State got absolutely dog-walked by Boston College. Boston College! Is that even possible? Florida State is now 0-2 after losing to Georgia Tech and Boston College. These guys are done. Their season's over, and it's week 2. It hasn't even been 2 weeks yet. Unbelievable. I mean, to lose 28-13 to Boston College is just abysmal. What the fuck is wrong with this team? Mike Norvell might not be as good of a coach as we all thought he was, and clearly this Florida State team is nowhere near as good as last year's. I mean, holy shit. DJ Umizoomi is trash. He deserves to be playing in the CFL. Forget about CFL. How does this guy even make it to the college football level? This guy sucks ass. Holy shit. He overthrows wide open touchdowns. Go back and watch that play. He is wide open in the end zone, and Umizoomi just overthrows him by a mile. It's insane. And in the very beginning of the second half, he threw a horrible interception. What a fucking bum. This Florida State defense, which we have to talk about as well, can't stop a fucking nosebleed. I mean, holy shit. Look what Boston College and Georgia Tech did to them. Imagine what's going to happen when they play an actual good team. Holy shit, the score is going to be 40-0. Or they're going to get fucking killed like they did by Georgia last year. Unbelievable. And the reality is that FSU plays complementary football. When the offense is good, the defense shits the bed. When the defense is playing well, the offense doesn't know how to throw a forward pass. It's ridiculous. I mean, holy shit. I don't even know what to say for this Florida State team. They're done. Say goodnight to the season already. Wow. But at least we got one good thing out of this Florida State loss. It was an absolute great week 1, and I'm expecting an even better week 2.